hearing you say that you and Graham went through the friend zone was like the most eye-opening thing, because I truly had no idea that that was common. Like, how did you guys get out of that?
I don't think it's a bad place to be.
I need you to walk me through the whole thing. Like, the moment you were aware of it.
And you jumped on it.
And how you had a conversation on it. Like, I cannot even imagine, and like, I cannot imagine successfully getting out of the friend zone, so I need to know everything.
Yeah, okay.
Start from the beginning.
Yeah. Graham and I used to be, it's like we used to be the sex, drugs, rock and roll type thing.
Yeah.
And I loved that phase, but I knew it wasn't sustainable. Mm-hmm. So him and I, when we were engaged and getting married, we were also growing up. Some of our friends were having these jobs. Like, we started to take life a little bit more seriously. And so with that, we got married at that time, and we stopped going out as much. We fell into like a pretty serious routine. He would go to an office every day. I would work from home. We had been married for 6 months. Like, the honeymoon kind of wears off, you know, and you're like, okay, so you're going to come home every day at 5. We're going to make dinner, and then we're going to eat it together, maybe watch a movie or something, fold some laundry, and then go to bed. Mm-hmm. And we would have sex at night sometimes, and then it just kind of got to where we would be going to bed, and we'd be like, I'm exhausted. Or just like, what's the point? We weren't arguing. That was the thing. We weren't ever arguing in the friend zone. We got along great.
Because you guys were like best friends.
Best friends. We never held hands, though. Anything like that.
Oh, so you lost your physical touch altogether.
Totally.
Also,
lost
when you were
touch.
about to have sex, was it like weird? Was it like, oh, do you want to go have sex?
That's the word I wrote down. It was awkward.
Yeah.
It got kind of awkward.
Yeah.
Because we were like, we know we're supposed to have sex because, like, you're married and that's what you do on a Thursday night when you get in bed. But we were both kind of like...
Like, were you kind of like, hurry up and get this over with? Like, come,
Yes.
I want to go to bed?
Yes. It was like, sex became
Ew.
a chore.
Me too.
But I knew, I was like, I remember these fun, steamy times. I love this person. So it was like, okay, we have to address the elephant in the room. We have to be like, I went first. I'm more emotional.
Of course you would.
Yeah. I scream things out loud. He's a little bit more of an internalizer. So I was like, hey, I started out, I felt really awkward. So at first when I started out, I was kind of like, hey, do you think like we should, or like you could tell, like I miss when you touch me, kind of. Like I miss when you just like grab my ass out in public. And at first he was like, yeah. But you know what I think he thought? I think he thought this is what marriage is. Like,
Oh.
I think a lot of people do. I think they think that's how it's supposed to be. And then they just stick with it.
that's so true. And you're like, and you're okay with it.
Yeah.
You're like, no, this is what it is. This is what we've seen.
Because also, not like our parents' generation, they don't talk about sex like we do, so we just assume they don't have sex and it's normal not to have sex. Like, that's my biggest fear: get married and then you lose all the steam.
Yes, that's what it was. And I was like, it doesn't. No, we do not have to be this way. Like, we can juice this up. Steam. We can have sex at noon if you want to come home for a lunch break.
Yeah.
Like, we have to spice this up, or I don't think this isn't fun for me.
So, do you think it was the routine that was the biggest, like, that caused it the most?
I think it was the routine. I think it was fear. I think we both assumed this is just, it's going to happen at some point. The honeymoon phase is going to wear off. It's going to suck. And then I think we both were like, this is it. It's happening. This is the marriage thing. This is the enemy. This is the boringness of it. Like, and it was like, why would you just fall into a stereotype voluntarily?
Yeah.
And so we started really having to be like, okay, you got to touch me. I would touch him first. I grab his hand and little things like that. And it's like when you go to the gym,
Muscle memory.
And you're like, okay, I'm going to the gym. At first I know it's not fun, but then I'm going to start looking better. Then I'm going to be able to run on that treadmill a little bit longer. Then I'm going to feel good. Then I'm going to like love myself. And that's what started to happen.
So did you start to like change up things you did in the bedroom? Like, did you buy lingerie? Did you try new positions? Like, how did you get your sex life to be sexy again? I literally can't imagine going, you know what I mean? Like, I can't.
I wish I could ask him this. He asked his therapist at the time too. He was like, what can I do? And I don't know what the therapist said, but it was good. He was like, this is normal, but you two have to start talking about it. It was seriously like awkward. The person I know like really well, I'm like, hey, we need to fuck
Should we
more.
go have sex?
Yeah. Literally,
Yeah.
We downloaded an app which gives you like a new position every day.
Okay, that's fun.
It was very fun. Then we found our favorites. I'm telling you guys, you know how I feel about the 69. That like got me through it. And lingerie, like he would buy it, like different times of the day. You have to like mix it up. But we were just like, we cannot fall into routine. I want to go to bed. I'm tired.
Routines are
Chore.
healthy but scary.
I don't even think that you need to switch it up that much. I think you just need to have a conscious effort to like be so present when it's happening.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean?
Is big.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes you could have sex for like 3 minutes, like in missionary, and you're like, that was awesome.
Yeah.
If the passion's there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I enjoy sex. When we're flirting and things like that, I'm like, I want to go home and have sex, dude. You're my husband. I love it. I feel really connected to him in that way. But I think when you fall out of it, you're like, oh, we got to do that thing. We got to check that box. But yeah,
Yeah.
if you're present and you're like enjoying it, like